What's up everybody, James here, and you guessed it, today we're talking about premium fuel versus regular fuel. Now I'm not going to debunk every theory that's out there, and I know there's 1.5 million variables, but what really inspired this whole thing was a video I saw on CBC, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that video in the description below so you can check that out. Tons of educational things in that video, so after this video, of course, make sure you go down there and check that video out. It's pretty neat. They kind of go around interviewing some of the patrons, also gas station tenants, and then even gas station owners, and I think there's even one or two, at least one CEO or COO of one of the gas companies, but definitely check it out. There's a lot of information there, so it prompted me to start thinking about, well, maybe I should test it on my own, and it make for a pretty good video. What was really interesting was at one point they talked to a guy who had a Corvette, and this guy gave his input on having the Corvette, talked about how he only uses regular gas. So this really was intriguing to me because, of course, I've got a Corvette, and really just the video itself kind of got the juices going, and the fact that this guy talked about his Corvette and his experience, I thought, what the hell, it's perfect. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I'm very excited about this. This is 5 months in the making. So today we're in my 2002 Corvette Z06, and we're looking at premium gas versus regular gas, and we're doing a live test run of that. Alright, so no car video. Here's a car video without a cold start. Okay, so a little pop quiz here. We're going to listen to this motor, and you've got to decide really quickly if this is a car that's running on premium currently or if it's running on regular currently. However, as you could tell from listening to the car, there is no knocking, there is no strange noise coming from the car. I drove the car for 6 months on premium, and it has always run premium to the best of my knowledge before I owned it, and it was my daily driver, so I had a good feel of the car, and then immediately switching to regular and constantly using regular, and this is my daily driver, so we're talking multiple fill-ups. It is now running regular, and I think we can rule out that variable of, you know, it wasn't just one fill up or a couple of fill ups. You're not going to notice a difference. This is you know, several months of continuous running, and I don't see a difference in the performance of the vehicle. Now I know there's going to be a true difference in performance if I were to track it and things to that nature, but on acceleration, even put on a highway, gotten it in excess of 100 miles an hour, again, just daily driving it, I don't hear any difference, I don't feel any difference. To the best of my knowledge, the car is running perfectly fine. So that's number one. Not to mention, I've saved a couple of bucks switching from premium to regular. If you haven't watched it already, I alluded to that video where CBC had sort of compared the two of them properly. I think they've attacked all variables. They've dynoed vehicles, etc. Again, if you haven't watched the video, I encourage you to click the link below and give that video a watch. It's a lot more educational than my video, but I thought it'd be pretty neat to do it in my Corvette. The other variable is my Corvette is modified. Not heavily modified, just modified. I have a very large cold air intake, as you saw from the previous clip, and I also have the John Lingenfelter upper intake manifold. Does that make a difference? Sure it does. It's a variable. Anything you do would be a variable. You know, if I added more weight in the trunk, that's a variable on the car, just from a drag perspective. So, you know, again, you kind of go back and forth, and this isn't going to put the argument to rest. But I will tell you, again, daily driving, putting probably a couple thousand miles on regular fuel. No performance difference that I could tell. No engine knocking, no check engine lights, nothing. So a couple of questions I had on mind was, how is it going to change fuel economy? I can't tell you, I'm averaging about 1.5 gallons per better on regular fuel than I was on premium. I have not gone and gotten emissions done to see if the emissions are going to change. As a matter of fact, again, referencing that video, they did that, and actually the emissions are worse in a vehicle that runs premium gas. So well, maybe I feel a little bit better about it, because at the end of the day I'm running 2 V8 vehicles currently, so I'm not doing anybody really any favors, but it was just funny to say. Don't want to stress again, this is not the end all be all for premium versus regular in a sports car, even though I'm testing it in a legitimate sports car. It's not like your V6s or your 4-cylinders. It is not force inducted, and that's going to make a difference in your motor. So I don't want you thinking that if you drive supercharged Mustang, your Cobras or whatever, that you're going to be able to get away with it because of this video. I'm not out there to change anybody's mind on the matter. Since I've ever owned a sports car, and I've had just general conversations with people who own any type of car, this is always in the back of your mind as a question, and all I wanted to do was just kind of put that to the test and have some answers for myself and for any of you out there who obviously went to search this video and are looking for answers as well. So I definitely don't want you thinking that you're going to go out there and now change your vehicle to regular. For one, definitely not going to be responsible for any of that. But two, every car is going to be different. And again, we talk about variables. The car itself is going to be a variable. So all I can say is definitively, if you own an 02 Z06 with, I'm right around 36,000 miles, it's safe in that vehicle. Or if you happen to also have a big cold air intake and the John Lingenfelter upper intake manifold. But that's not going to be the same for any other car, and my circumstance is going to be a little bit different than yours. This was a neat video to make. It was a couple of months in the making, so I was kind of anxious to get this thing over with. So I'll be anxious to see what you guys have to say. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, maybe even share it. I don't know. But there's going to be a lot of videos to come similar to this. Again, I'm suffering from an injury, so I haven't been able to get to some of the other vehicles like I wanted to. You can expect those videos to come though. I'm going to get my hands on some really exotic vehicles, stuff that you don't see every day. Certainly things that I've not seen on YouTube, at least not very common on YouTube, or at least an in-depth look on some of these cars. And as a little spoiler, one of them is my brother's Saline Cobra. A lot of people don't even know that car exists, and I'm going to be able to get behind the wheel. We're going to listen to it and really dive deep into that vehicle. Not from a review perspective, so I've had a couple people leave me comments, you're doing terrible reviews. I'm not a car review person. That's not what this channel is about. It is a vlog. I'm just getting behind the wheel and just talking about whatever I want to talk about. So if you don't like it, hey, you know what? You don't got to watch it. But so don't troll me. But I'm excited to get behind some of those vehicles and get those on the internet for some of you guys to experience. Some of these vehicles might be dream vehicles for you. I know a couple of guys have talked about my Corvette, and it's a dream of them to get a Corvette, so they appreciate some of the things that I've been looking at and talking about, what the steering wheel column lock that I experienced, and et cetera, and I think this video is going to be insightful for some of you guys who are running these performance cars, Mustangs, Corvettes, Chargers, Camaros, and this has crossed everybody's. I don't know that most people want to risk their vehicle to try to even test the regular versus premium out, and I went ahead and did so. And again, likely to switch back to premium just from a peace of mind for me, but I think I'd be safe probably running regular for the extent that I own this vehicle. And if I do get rid of it, the next owner may not appreciate that, but you know what, I don't care at that point, right? So for some of you guys, if you're watching this and you had a couple of questions about this, if I didn't get to answer them, or if the video that I have in the description below doesn't get a chance to answer them, by all means, leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get to any of the questions that you guys might have. Alright, so I want to thank all of you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Again, make sure you like it, subscribe, share this video. leave me comments below. Make sure you check out my Instagram at 2 Sticks LLC, where I post a little bit more active on my Instagram with pictures of cars and such like that. It's a better way of following me. I'm going to try to get as many videos uploaded as I possibly can. I'm a little bit restricted over these last couple months, and probably for a little while longer. But I anticipate my content exploding probably the turn of the year, and we're really going to be able to look at some really, really interesting vehicles. So again, thanks for your time, and until next time.